we'll go with our next module. This is also a small module. Data link layer. Next module is data link layer. So where we have this data link layer in the OSI model, 7-layer model. Actually, in the OSI 7-layer model, the first layer, starting with the bottom, the first layer is physical layer. We already studied that physical layer, completed with physical layer, right? What is the next layer? Layer 2, data link layer. So now we will study what is this data link layer actually. What is the purpose of this data link layer? What are the different topologies in the data link layer and what is a data link frame? These are the three main objectives of this module, right? So purpose of data link layer. So the purpose of data link layer is the data link layer is responsible for communication between end device network interface card, right? It allows upper layer protocols to access the physical layer media, right? So just visualize, we have 7 layers, application layer to bottommost physical layer. So that in order to make a communication path between layers, the topmost layers need to be communicated with the physical layer. Physical layer is the actual physical layer we can see, right? In order to make a communication path with this bottom layer to topmost layer, data link layer acts over there at layer 2. Okay, data link layer provides communication with end device network card, right? It allows upper layer protocols, application layer, transport layer, network layer, like that. It allows upper layer protocols to access physical media. This is the place where conversion takes place. Next, data link layer also perform error detection technique, right? Whatever the data we receive, okay, first we need to check for any errors, right? So this is the operation performed at data link layer. And observe that picture. In that picture, at the NIC card, we have L2 and L3. L2 represents layer 2. L3 represents layer 3, right? L2, L3. What is layer 2? Layer 2 is data link layer. Layer 3. What is layer 3? Network layer, right? What is layer 3? Network layer. Starting from bottom to top. What is the first layer? Physical layer. And then data layer. And then network layer. L2 is data link layer. L3 is network layer. So observe the figure. What are the components that there in L2 and L3? L2 has destination network interface card address, source network interface card address. As the definition suggests, data link layer responsible for communication between end device network cards. That's why we need the network card address. What is the network card address? Other than IP address, we have network card address. It is unique. That address is called as MAC address. MAC address, right? 32-bit hexadecimal, right? So that's why in order to provide communication, L2 layer header contains destination NIC, source NIC. Over the data layer, we have network layer. Network layer means IP addresses comes into picture. That's why L3 header has source IP address, destination IP address. Right? This is the basic format. L2 contains NIC, network interface card addresses or MAC addresses. L3 contains IP addresses. ఇది బండ గుర్తు పెట్టుకోండి. Data link layer contains network interface card or MAC addresses. Network layer contains IP addresses. Right? So IEEE 802 LAN or MAN data link sublayer. This is the standard given by IEEE 802 for Ethernet. Ethernet means our network interface card Ethernet. Wireless LAN, that means your Wi-Fi. wireless PAN, that is your Bluetooth, right? All these technologies, 802 LAN provides some standard, right? So in this one, data link layer, you got a doubt that how upper layer devices make communication with the actual original physical layer, because upper layers has data, last layer contains original physical media is there, how the conversion takes place. So observe this diagram. This is layer 1 physical layer, layer 2 data link layer, layer 3 network layer, right? So in the data link layer, it is again divided into two sublayers: logical link control sublayer, MAC sublayer. Got my point? Logical link sublayer, MAC layer. Okay. So logical link sublayer communicates between network software at the upper layers and device hardware at lower layers. So LLC makes communication path from upper layers with lower layer hardware, right? Next, MAC layer. What is this MAC layer? MAC sublayer. So MAC sublayer is responsible for data encapsulation and medium control. Data encapsulation means how the signals were transmitted using the technology Ethernet IEEE 802.3. What is the meaning of IEEE 802.3? Our cable connection, right? Our cable connection. Next, IEEE 802.11 means wireless connection. IEEE 802.15. What is that one? Bluetooth connection, right? So these are the different technologies we can choose. Either we can go with cable, wireless, or Bluetooth. Wired, wireless, or Bluetooth, like this. We can choose any of this one. So how this network layer can communicate with this one? So with the help of LLC and MAC, right? LLC, okay, LLC establishes communication path from upper layers to lower layer hardware, and MAC sublayer chooses any one of these. If you have Wi-Fi connection, the connection path establishes like this. Okay, if it is a cable connection, the connection path establishes like this. Network layer to LLC sublayer to Ethernet layers, right? This way we can make communications between upper layers to lower physical layer. Next, providing access to media. How we can provide access to media? Okay, so routers perform at layer 2. Frame by frame we can accept the packets. So here encapsulation, decapsulation takes place, right? We can call that we can call those things as a frames. Okay, frames, Ethernet frames. We will transfer all these Ethernet frames. So who provides these data link layer standards? You already seen in the diagram. IEEE provides some standards: ITU, ISO, and ANSI, ANSI. These are the organizations which provide our standards. Next, topologies. What are the topologies? In the first module, we already learned that while drawing the network diagrams, we have basically two topologies. For drawing the diagram, we have physical topology, logical topology. Physical topology means how devices are physically interconnected. That topology is called the physical topology. And next, how devices are connected virtually. Okay, those topology is called as logical topology. Okay, coming to WAN. WAN means wide area network. Means it has a capability to connect multiple different networks, right? Different networks. So how a WAN connects all these networks? It has some topology. What is the topology? It has point to point, hub and spoke, mesh topology, right? Point to point means it is this connection will connect source to destination directly. There is no intermediary junctions. Point to point, that is source to destination, direct communication, right? Next, hub and spoke. Hub and spoke means you already know hub. To the hub, we will connect all the end devices. So, to the hub, multiple devices can connect to the hub, which acts as a branch site. Through that hub, we can maintain communication, establish communication between different systems or nodes. Like mesh topology. What is a mesh topology? Generally, we won't use this one, but it requires high-end system. That means in mesh topology, each system can have communication line to every system in the network, right? Each system, don't get confused. I'll show you with a diagram. Suppose this is one system. This is point to point means, for example, source to destination direct connection. This is one point, this is another point. If you connect point directly to a point, this is called as point to point connection. Next, hub and spoke technology. Hub and spoke means the diagram which the network which I drawn in the Cisco packet tracer. Consider this is a switch device. To the device, here is a computer, here is a laptop, here is a server. So we will connect this device to hub, this device to hub, this device to hub. That means all the devices will get connected to each other. And if I want to communicate this laptop with the server, I can establish the communication path through the hub and spoke technology. So point to point links we can establish in the hub. Next, last one is mesh. What is mesh means? Suppose I have four systems or end devices like this. What is point to point? One system connected directly to other. One system connected directly to other. This is called point to point. What is hub and spoke? We need a hub like that intermediary device, right? In mesh, there is no intermediary devices. Instead, each system has direct communication path to other systems. For example, this system has communication path to the end system, and then communication path to this system, and then communication path to this system. Now, this system has direct connection to all the three systems. Like that, for this system, we need one more path. We need one more path. Now, this bottom system has direct links to other system. This system also has direct links to other systems. This system also has direct access to other systems. So this is called as mesh topology. Every system has direct connection to all the systems in the network. But in providing large number of connections, it is it provides high availability, but it is costly, right? Next, point to point WAN. Already I told you. In this case, router device. This is a router connected to other router directly to a medium, network medium. It is called as point to point. Next, coming to WAN topologies, LAN topologies. LAN means local area connection. In the local area connection, we have a star topology. Star topology, extended star means this is one star network, this is another star network. These two star networks are connected to each other. Like this, we can connect any number of star networks. Extended star. Next, bus topology. Bus topology means there is a single bus. Onto the bus, each device is connected. This is called as bus topology. Next, ring topology means there is a ring architecture. To that ring, each system connected to each other. But in ring system, only one device can establish a or send data. During that process, no other system in the network should send the data until that previous data is completed, transfer is completed. So out of all these things, star topology is the best recommended topology. And in our laboratories or home networks, we'll use a star network, star topology, right? Next, half and full duplex communication. What is this? Half and full duplex communication means if only one device allowed to send or receive data at a time is called as half duplex. If both the devices, suppose one device is there, another device is there, I want to make a communication path. So if at a given point of time only one device can communicate. That type of communication is called half duplex. If one device is communicating, other device can also make communication path two-way. This type of communication is called full duplex. For example, consider same our college gate. We have two gates. If I open only one single gate, if a car wants to enter into the college and at the same time another car wants to exit from the college, right? At that point of time, only one car can pass through the gate while other car has to wait till the first car will complete its transfer, right? In that same case, if I open two gates, what happens? So same at same point of time, car can enter into the college and at the same time another car can exit from the college. Two-way communication, right? That is called as full duplex. That is the difference between half duplex and full duplex, right? So basically, half duplex communication is used in wireless LANs, bus topologies with Ethernet hubs. Full duplex is used in switches. This is the most important question where half duplex mode is happened in wireless LAN networks, where full duplex mode takes place with the switch device. That is the major difference. That is why wireless LAN Wi-Fi is slow when compared to the wired network, right? Access control methods. So if there is a shared medium, there is a link is there. How to control the access of devices so that if one device is making a communication, other device shouldn't communicate or send data at that line at that same time to avoid collision. So for that we have different methods. One of the important method is CSMA-CD. One more method is CSMA-CA. These are the two important methods. And then how access is controlled means we have token ring and ARCnet. Token ring and ARCnet access methods were there using which we can maintain control or control in legacy networks. Right. Next, what is CSMA-CD and CSMA-CD process? Right. So in this, what happens is, for example, if transmission starts, devices transmit simultaneously. If devices simultaneously, and at a time, if two devices transmit the data, the signal will collide in the shared medium. Next, devices detect the collision. If any collision occurs, the devices will detect that there is a collision in the network, and then the devices, whatever all the devices, remaining devices in the network is there, they will get a signal that there is a collision in the network. So the rest of the devices won't transmit any data within a period of time, or the devices which made collision also won't retransmit the data at that point of time. This is called as collision detection process, right? You already learned these concepts in your computer networks. So CSMA-CA, where it is used in 802.11, means we use CSMA by CSA in wireless LANs, where we use CSMA-CD Ethernet. So in wired network connections, we use CSMA-CD. In wireless connections, we will use CSMA-CA, right? Next, data link frame. So data link, it transmits the data in the form of frames. I already told you. So what is the structure of that frame? So the data is encapsulated as a frame. So what are the actual things were there in that frame? Actually, for a data link frame, we have three parts. First one is header, second one is original data, last one is trailer. Header, data, trailer. So between the header and trailer, we will encapsulate our data. This is the way we can encapsulate our original data in the form of frames, right? So what is actually there in header and what is there in trailer? The center one is our original packet or data. Center one is our packet or data. And what are the things were there in header? Header contains frame start, addressing, type, and control. You learn or you study all these things. Okay, next. In the trailer, This is the most important thing. Trailer contains error detection and frame stop. Frame stop means it indicates the end of the frame. Error detection gives the error detection control methods. If a frame is lost, it will ask for retransmission. If a frame is successfully transmitted, it will give the acknowledgement signal. That is the basic thing in error detection. Right. Next, L2 addresses. L2 means layer 2. What is layer 2? Data link layer. Actually, what are the things were there in L2? L2 works at with physical addresses. What are the physical addresses? I already told you. Network interface card addresses, NIC addresses. So L2 contains destination NIC and source NIC. These are the two things were there in layer 2 addresses. What are the things were there in L3? IP addresses, right? And next, LAN and WAN frames. Basically, in the WAN, how we transfer these frames using some protocols. What are the different protocols? For wide network, we have Ethernet. For wireless, we have 802.11 standard. For point-to-point networks, we have PPP. For high-level data link control, we have HDLC. And in frame relays, we have that protocol called frame relay. These are the different protocols were there with LAN and WAN frames. So with this, our data link layer module is finished, right? So today's module, okay, we learned at this session we learned IP addressing format and data link layer. What are the things happening in data link layer? Keep in mind that data link layer provides frames. What is the structure of that frame? That structure of the frame is it contains header, the data, the trailer. Header, data, trailer. So how these frames were transmitted using different protocols or technologies. What are the different protocols or technologies? Ethernet, wireless LAN 802.11, point-to-point PPP, HDLC, frame relay. These are the different methods we can transfer the data, right? So that is the main importance of data link layer. I think you got an idea how top layer data is converted into the technologies. How your exact data is transferred through Ethernet. How your original data is transferred to the through wireless. Means at the data link layer we have two important sublayers, LLC, MAC. LLC established communication path from topmost layers with bottom physical layer. MAC sublayer chooses the technology according to the connection. If I use wide network, the physical device is Ethernet or NIC card. If there is a wireless connection, the technology to be used is 802.11. So this your original data it's transferred through wireless. If you are using wired connection, this original data is transferred through Ethernet in the form of frames. Who maintains these frames? Data link. This is the main objective of this module, right? Next, number system. What is the importance of number systems? So in the system, devices can read or understand only binary data, binary addresses, right? But humans understand only decimal format. So there is a great need for converting decimal to binary, right? For our understanding, IP addresses. Next, what is the purpose of converting or what is the need of hexadecimal? So layer 3 provides IP, source IP, destination IP. What about layer 2? Layer 2 works with physical NIC cards. That means it requires destination network interface card address, source network interface card address. So NIC card addresses were in the form of hexadecimals only. That is why we need conversion of hexa to binary. What my point? Decimal to binary, hexa to binary. Right. So with this, these two modules are finished. And one more module is there. That is the most important module. Ethernet switching. Actually, how switching takes place. If you connect 10 devices to a switch, physical switch already shown to you. how switch knows that MAC address is of a system, how it will learn those things. Those are practical things. I will announce the next timing. Uh, for now, I will close this session. I will give you some break time. So after some time, I will again announce the next session. With that one, we will finish the group calls, right? So now I'm stopping the recording.